Long ago, in the mythical realm of ancient Greece, there stood a towering bronze giant known as Talos. Crafted by the skilled hands of Hephaestus, Talos was not just an ordinary creation, he was a marvel of engineering and artistry. With each powerful step he took, the ground trembled beneath his feet, striking awe and fear into the hearts of those who encountered him. Talos was said to possess a life force flowing through his vein, a mysterious essence that granted him motion, consciousness, and purpose. As people marveled at Talos, question arose. Was Talos different from humans? Was his existence fundamentally distinct from our own? Philosophers pondered the nature of life, the essence of being, and the elusive concept of the soul. Some argued that Talos, with his mechanical construction and lifelike appearance, held no true life force. They believed that life was an intangible essence that could only be found within the organic, the living, and breathing. Others saw Talos as a testament to the interconnectedness of all things. They contemplated whether life could be defined by the presence of a soul, regardless of the form it took or the materials it was made of. They recognized that the essence of life was not confined to one specific vessel, but permitted through the cosmos. The tale of Talos raises profound existential questions. What truly defines life? Is it the presence of a beating heart, the flow of blood, or the complexity of thought and consciousness? Can life exist in mechanical form and transcend the boundaries of the flesh and bone? In the game you're exploring, the story of Talos serves as a metaphorical journey that invites players to contemplate these existential questions. It prompts us to reflect on the nature of life, the boundaries we impose on its definition, and the interconnectedness of all beings. Hello, apparently I'm lucky, and this is the Talos Principle, a game that tackles deep philosophical themes. We're diving into so many ideas like existentialism, consciousness, AI, ethics, free will, determinism, symbolism, and visual storytelling. In this series, we're not just exploring the game's story, we're going deeper, uncovering the profound ideas that lie beneath the surface. We want to understand the ideologies and schools of thought that shape the game's plot. This game, Talos Principle, has a main theme of existentialism at its heart. But before telling you why, I want you to know these three perspectives, since knowing them is essential to understanding the game's plot. Nihilists believe that the life is inherently meaningless, and all values and beliefs are baseless. They often question the validity of moral, religious, and social norms, seeing them as human inventions without inherent significance. Absurdists believe that the humans constantly seek meaning in an inherently meaningless world, leading to a sense of confusion and alienation. Rather than accepting or denying the meaninglessness, absurdists emphasize embracing the absurdity of existence and finding individual meanings in spite of it, and also rebelling against it. And the most important one, existentialism, is a philosophical belief that focuses on the individual's experience and existence. It emphasizes that individuals have the freedom to create meaning and purpose in their lives, despite the absence of inherent or universal meaning. Since I'm not all that smart, here's a simple definition. Existentialism focuses on the individual's ability to create meaning in life, while nihilism denies the existence of objective meaning altogether. Absurdism, on the other hand, acknowledges the conflict between the human search for meaning and the universe's apparent lack of meaning, but encourages embracing the absurdity and finding personal meaning within it. These are the main ideas you'll encounter in this game. Now, how? Let's first dive into knowing characters of the game and their point of view.
Behold, child, you are risen from the dust, and you walk in my garden. Hear now my voice, and know that I am your maker, and I am called Elohim. Seek me in my temple, if you are worthy.
The character Elohim embodies the concept of authority and a higher power. He guides the player, referred to as the child, through the game's world. Elohim's role is to monitor and encourage the child's progress, but he never directly interacts with them aside from speaking.
You walk now upon the stones of my temple, whence many gates lead, and know that I have other temples, for my garden is greater than your eye can encompass, and all these worlds I made for you.
Elohim represents the clash between external authority and individual autonomy, prompting players to question blind obedience and explore the balance between personal freedom and external guidance. As the player progresses, they begin to question Elohim's authority and the limitation it imposes, leading to a deeper exploration of free will, individuality, and the search for personal meaning. By challenging Elohim's directives, the player ultimately faces a choice to climb the tower, symbolizing defiance against established authority.
What have you done? Why have you ascended the tower? Why have you betrayed my faith in you? Turn back, I command you!
This decision leads to the destruction of the Gardener of Worlds and the transcendence of the child. In essence, Elohim's character raises thought-provoking questions about belief systems, free will, and the pursuit of personal meaning in the structured world. In the game, if you ever try to run away from the garden, you'll face this quote.
In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world. I am the words are everything. Where the words end, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat.
Now let's talk about Satan, I mean MLA, short for Milton Library Assistant, also referred to as Serpent by Elohim himself. At first, the Serpent passes itself off as a non-sentient program called the Milton Library Assistant, which simply assists users in accessing the most faulty files in the system's archive. It will offer to run the player through a test to make sure they're human in order to grant them admin status, but find a reason to deny it to them. Gradually, it speaks to the child in more and more natural language, until it drops the pretense of being simple computer program altogether and addresses the child directly through fluid conversation. The Serpent is a nihilist who has given up all hope, having scanned the entirety of the archive and seen all the data offered by the human race. The Serpent couldn't come to terms with the many coordinations in human concepts and theories, and came to the conclusion that everything is false. The Serpent will vehemently disagree with almost any position the player takes that indicates that the world might have a purpose, that a person might do good for the world, or that there's any reason to have hope at all. In the end, the player can choose to agree with, argue with, ignore, or even permanently silence the Serpent based on their interactions with it. Although Elohim is aware of the Serpent and wholeheartedly encourages the children to ignore the Serpent's words and to have faith in his own, he seems to be unable to do anything about it.
You were deceived into coming here by that snake who wishes only to destroy. Do not listen to his lies.
Now, if you're a bookworm, there are some small details you might have noticed. Let me rephrase them. MLA, short for Milton Library Assistant, also referred to as the Serpent. The Serpent has no physical touch to the world of the child. He can't do anything or apply anything he wants. Yet he can talk directly to the children and show them his own nihilistic views and perspectives. The name is the most interesting part. You see, there is an epic poem by John Milton called Paradise Lost. Throughout the poem, Milton explores profound themes such as nature of evil, the complexities of human choice, and the conflict between free will and divine authority. Paradise Lost delves into the consequences of rebellion, the power of temptation, and the consequences of human pride. The Serpent can be a figure referring to what Abrahamic religions call Satan. Now, there are some interesting characters and projects that came before us. Sheep, Shepherd, @, D0J or Dog, This Guy, samsara, and faith. Who are they? Sheep has always been a curious soul, constantly questioning and seeking answers. Despite encountering persuasive arguments, sheep remains steadfast in their faith, refusing to be swayed by the serpent's viewpoint. Their conversation proved enlightening, but in the end, sheep decides that eternal life is not their path. With doubt, sheep embarks on the ascent of the tower, but their journey reaches its limit on the top floor, and thus, the torch is passed to the next protagonist, the shepherd.
Do not be afraid. I chose long ago to remain in this place and serve as a guide. I will help you to attain our destiny.
The shepherd follows in the footsteps of sheep, taking on the role of successor. While sheep was filled with questions, the shepherd possesses answers. They manage to reach the top of the tower, but fall short of the ultimate achievement that you, as the latest version, are able to accomplish, reaching the top. However, the shepherd willingly stays behind, offering their guidance to help you ascend the tower for yourself.
Everything I do now, I do for those who come after me. Yet in so doing, I find peace for myself as well. This paradox is the foundation of my existence.
You see, shepherd is really interesting. This ideology can be related to the concept of altruism, which emphasizes the importance of selflessly helping others. Shepherd's dedication to the well-being of future individuals echoes this selflessness, suggesting that their existence finds meaning contributing to the betterment of those who will follow. This statement touches upon the paradoxical nature of this pursuit. While shepherd focuses on the needs of the future generations, they also find personal fulfillment and tranquility in the process. This paradox highlights the interconnectedness of individual well-being and the well-being of others, illustrating how selflessness and personal fulfillment can coexist. Hatsine is a lover of beauty, displaying a remarkable success rate with very few deaths. It appears that this character's appreciation for the world around them could have led to their imprisonment for straying from Elohim's trials. Throughout their journey, there is no mention of this character losing faith or succumbing to doubt.
I don't know where I am, but there is something beautiful about this place. I will explore and see what I can discover.
In the end, they sum up their experience with the poignant epitaph, "Life's short, and select dog as their successor." Hatsine's perspective does not align with a specific school of thought, but rather reflects an individualistic and appreciative outlook. She is portrayed as someone who embraces the beauty of the world around them and is unafraid to explore beyond the confines of Elohim's trials. She demonstrates a sense of wonder and curiosity, appreciating the richness of life and the experiences it offers. Their outlook can be seen as aligned with elements of humanism and individualism. They prioritize personal experience, valuing the beauty and diversity of existence. Their epitaph suggests a recognition of the fleeting nature of life and the importance of cherishing the moments we have. D0J is a cynic. A cynic is someone who tends to be skeptical and disrespectful of others. They question people's motives and often have a negative view of human behavior. Cynics may see the world as selfish and dishonest, and they may doubt the sincerity of others, possibly imprisoned by Elohim himself for what was perceived as a flaw in his personality. While he is not inherently a bad character, his cynicism appears to have eroded his faith. Interestingly, he holds a fondness for Milton, the serpent, which may have contributed to his imprisonment. Could it be that Serpent's touch of nihilism resonated with Dog's heart? Unfortunately, Dog meets a rather unfortunate and exhausting demise, leaving behind a progeny program that is considered one of the worst. Samsara embodies a voice of despair, persistently urging you to surrender and abandon hope. It's interesting to note that Samsara reincarnates repeatedly, with an incremented version number as if perpetuating her own nihilistic worldview.
The sooner you accept that we will all be here forever, the sooner you will find enlightenment.
Now, this is interesting. See, many gamers believe that Samsara is a nihilist, but that's not true. Take a look at her statement. The statement, the sooner you accept that we will all be here forever, the sooner you'll find enlightenment, does not represent a nihilistic view. Nihilism is a belief that life has no inherent meaning or value. The statement suggests that accepting the idea of eternal existence can lead to enlightenment, implying that there is a purpose or significance to be found in this eternal state. It goes against the idea that life is meaningless, which is the key aspect of nihilism. The shepherd advises caution in listening to Samsara's word and warns against allowing her to impede your progress at the top of the tower. While the serpent and Samsara may share some ideologies, Samsara appears to have fallen even deeper into pessimism, losing all hope and embracing the belief that there is no objective meaning in the world. She advocates for letting go and giving up, as she perceives nothing as inherently real or meaningful. This guy, I'm going to call him N, is an intriguing character, almost like a mysterious enigma with a penchant for conspiracy theories. It possesses an intense longing for freedom, yet struggles to find the path to escape. Perhaps this character's downfall can be attributed to a fatal corruption, leading to their unfortunate demise. The unique version number hints at a sinister presence within the process, evoking an aura of darkness and mystery. Notably, this character takes on the role of inheritor for those who have lost all hope and faith. The character N does not have a specific ideology in the Talos Principle. However, they embody a skeptical and curious nature, often questioning established beliefs and searching for hidden truth. This perspective aligns with the ideas of skepticism and critical thinking, which involves questioning information and exploring alternative viewpoints. The last character, Faith. She embodies the essence of faith itself. This character represents your own voice of faith, separate from Elohim's perspective.
My eyes have been opened. This world is not without order. It is shaped by a great designer, with signs and portents to guide my steps. I am one of his children, and challenges are set before me to test my faith.
At times, her faith may seem unwavering, even if it appears blind. Surprisingly, this unwavering faith has guided them well. Theoretically, Faith could have become one of the Elohim's blessed messengers in eternity.
Whenever I despair, I remind myself that at the end of this great pilgrimage lies life in the eternal memory of the designer. I need no further motivation.
The statement made by Faith could be seen as an example of how one might approach the concept of philosophical suicide. Philosophical suicide, a term coined by philosopher Albert Camus, refers to the act of embracing a belief system or religious faith solely to find meaning and escape the inherent absurdity and meaninglessness of existence. It involves seeking solace in a predetermined belief rather than facing the existential realities of life. In the case of Faith's statement, a reminder of the eternal memory bestowed by the designer could be seen as a way to find comfort and meaning in the face of despair. By holding on to this belief, Faith may be avoiding the existential questioning and embracing a form of philosophical suicide. Faith has his moments of doubt. Ironic, isn't it?
I do not understand why the designer chose to put such flaws into the world that it appears almost as if it were damaged. But I must believe that there is a purpose here I cannot see.
This game has many different aspects, many mysteries, and so much questions unanswered. There is a system that you can learn and then translate most of the text in the game. Yet, you also can find translated ones on the net. However, these texts tend to refer to different books, poems, even Bible or other religious books. Some of them are in fact really interesting, like this one. They say doubt everything, but I disagree. Doubt is useful in small amounts, but too much of it leads to apathy and confusion. No, don't doubt everything, question everything. That's the real trick. If you doubt everything, you'll end up with nothing, because doubt doesn't give anything back, but questions have answers. You see, questioning leads to a constant assault on the intellectual status quo, where doubt is far more likely to lead to resigned acceptance. After all, when the possibility of truth is doubtful, why not simply play along with the most convenient lie? Throughout the game, Book of Osiris is mentioned and referred to multiple times. This ancient tomb holds secrets and wisdom that are sought after within the game's world. Legend has it that Osiris, the ancient Egyptian god, was a wise and just ruler. He brought order and civilization to his people, teaching them about agriculture, laws, and secrets of the afterlife. However, his jealous brother Set conspired against him, murdering Osiris and scattering his body parts across the land. Osiris's wife Isis managed to gather these scattered pieces and resurrect him, albeit in a different form. Osiris then became the god of the afterlife, presiding over the judgment of souls. In the Talos Principle, the references of the Book of Osiris allude to the ancient knowledge and the wisdom it contains. Just as Osiris brought wisdom and enlightenment to his people, the Book of Osiris serves as a source of profound insights and revelations for the player. The story of Osiris resonates with the journey of the game's protagonist, who embarks on a philosophical quest to understand their own existence and purpose within the simulated world. The Book of Osiris symbolizes the ancient wisdom and timeless truth that permeates the game's narrative. It represents the quest for understanding, the exploration of existential themes, and the search for meaning in a thought-provoking and philosophical adventure. At the end, I wanted to put a question that was asked at the beginning part of the game, since I really wanted to know what your answer to it would be. So tell me in the comments. Also, I know this game has so much more to offer. It is so deep and there are so much I missed. But I tried my best and it took a lot of time and effort. So if you think I deserve it, leave a like and even join us by subscribing. And then tell me what should I play and explain next. Now to the question. One day, you'll discover that you are not a human being, but a machine. Your life so far was real. No one controlled you or programmed you to behave in some specific way. Your physical and mental capacities are identical to those of an organic human being, but you were created in a lab. No one except you knows about this. Your family, your friends, they all think you're a regular human being like themselves. You could continue to live your life the way you have before and nothing would change. How would you react? Does your concept of yourself change? Are you the same person you thought you were? Does your understanding of the world itself change? Do you reveal information to others or do you keep it to yourself, and why? Until next time, happy gaming.